Hello everyone, Sophie here, creator and host of Science with Sophie. I hope you can hear me all right because I don't know where my microphone is and this is my first time going live on YouTube. So let me know if you can hear me with, I guess, a comment. Yes. I'm so happy to be here today to share with you a little piece of my own personal science project that I'm working on, which is a bunch of worms. I'm here at my apartment in New York and it's quite sunny and bright. I might put on some sunglasses in a moment. And it is a chilly day, but it's really warm in the sun. So I just threw my coat off here. And it's time to check on my worms. Why do I have worms in a box? Hopefully not in my digestive system. Because the worms are actually digesting things themselves. I live in New York City and I wanted to have some sort of composting system for a really long time. For years I've wanted to do composting, which is breaking down food waste so that you can use it to fertilize plants instead of having to throw it into a landfill where we have tons and tons and tons of waste. Oh my goodness, there's a little sun shower. Oh, nope, just a leak. Oh gosh, I'm gonna move over here. New York. Well, while we're watering the worms, let me tell you about composting. As you may have heard, we have a lot of food waste in the United States and in the world in general. And a lot of that comes from our food. Now, we've been talking about food all month, the science of food, macronutrients, micronutrients. What happens when we don't eat all of our food? Where does it go? And one of the things that is a big issue is that it gets thrown into the trash. A huge amount of food, whether it's from our plates or from the grocery store, stuff that doesn't get bought, things that are lost in the process of making food. All of that said, what do we do about it? One of the things we can do is compost. So I've been thinking about how do I compost in a city, because I don't have a farm, I don't have a huge big yard to use. I'm giving my plants some sunshine today, but I don't have a lot of space. I have an outdoor space, which is awesome. I didn't have that in Chicago. But what are my options? And some of you watching today might have the same issue. Do you have a small space? Are you in an apartment? Do you have just one room? How do you reduce your waste, and how do you recycle, reduce, reuse when you have limitations? So, like any good scientist, I was wondering about it. And like an engineer, I thought, here are my constraints, meaning I have limited space, and what are the possible solutions? So this is what I have come up with so far, and it's this green box thing that currently has stuff leaking on it because that happens in my apartment. It's exciting. Inside that box are a bunch of worms, about 1,000 worms actually, and I bought them online for like $30. And the idea is that these worms, they're earthworms. So when earthworms eat food scraps, they poop out the waste, and that's basically dirt, really, really good dirt that you can use to take care of your plants. So you end up in this cycle that kind of is similar to what the earth is used to doing without humans interfering. With all of that said, are you ready to see the worms? I was thinking about, the leak seems to have stopped for now, so I'm gonna risk going back over there. Very carefully, and we're gonna wipe off some of this water and check it out. Hello everyone who is watching. Hi, thanks for joining me and seeing these worms. All right, the worms get fed every once in a while. I have a bunch of food scraps that I've been meaning to feed them, so I've been keeping them in the fridge. And the scraps, not the worms. The worms need like moderate temperature and they don't like the sunshine. So I'm not gonna show them for super long. They're hiding kind of underneath because they like it to be dark. Think about, you know, if you were a worm underground, you'd wanna stay there probably. So the food scraps go in, the worms eat them. It takes a while, it doesn't happen right away. So even though I really wanted to see awesome dirt happen in like 2 days, it's really taken months. I got these in October and first started giving them food back then. So I'm gonna check on them and hope that they're okay. I'm hoping that I have a live video with live worms today and not a live video with dead worms. Because I've been gone for a few weeks, so I was traveling, I was at South by Southwest EDU speaking, and then I had some other travel, and so this is my checkup to say, hi worms. All right, you wanna see it? You wanna see it? It looks like a bunch of dirt and old food. I got some tea bags in here. This is an old banana peel, a really old banana peel. And this is actually pretty good news. It doesn't smell bad, which might surprise you. Wafting it like a good scientist. It smells a little bit like decaying stuff, a little bit like old wet dirt. Whoa! Do you see this, scientists? Oh, this is very cool. Wow. This is something growing out of my old food. This is really, really exciting because that's a great sign. That means that, well, I might actually just leave it there and see what happens. Because it means that the soil is fertile enough to grow stuff. And you might see underneath, I'm going to try to get really close in here, right next to that brand new little plant are a bunch of, happy to say, healthy worms. Oh, hooray. Good, good, good. This is good news. They're wriggling around. I'll get a nice active one to show you here. Oop. Here we go. See that, scientist? That is waste reduction in action. These little red wigglers are super, super good at digesting food and producing amazing poop. So their job here in my home is to do exactly that and eat those scraps that I'm not gonna eat, that they love, and they can eat all kinds of different stuff. They can eat plants, so lots of fruits and veggies in here. I'm gonna grab another handful and see what I can find. Coffee grounds, tea. Ooh, this is really exciting. Oh, look at those. Yeah. Oh, Sylvia said she's been thinking about doing this for a while, and thanks for commenting, Sylvia. I really do recommend trying it. One of these little pod type situations you can actually use indoors. So I've taken it inside when it's been really, really cold in the winter. I actually just put it in my shower and then moved it when I wanted to shower. Because the worms can't get too cold. You don't want them to freeze, but they are pretty hardy. So I've got coffee grounds. We've got, it's actually kind of hard to tell now because it's so broken down. This is really exciting. Banana peels, strawberries, I have some broccoli in here, even fabric. The fabric that I'm seeing doesn't look like it's been broken down too much, but supposedly you can do it. So maybe it just takes a lot longer. These tea bags look pretty intact, but I don't know, they're not hurting anything. So this is really exciting news. I'm glad that I can show you some live worms. If you want to see what it looks like when I'm feeding them, let's go ahead and do that. Hello, worms. Would you like some food? Oh yeah. Let me see how I can get this video up here for the right angle. Come on a little journey with me, scientists. I'm gonna prop you up here. I'm so nervous that this rain leakage is gonna come back. All right, here we go. I'm actually gonna take us down. Beep, 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 beep. The joys of making videos when I'm alone. I don't have a camera operator. I'm doing it myself for the first time. Beep, beep. Let me know what you think. Give me your honest feedback. Do you think that this live video on YouTube is a cool, fun thing? Any suggestions of how I can make it better, because like I said, this is the first time, so definitely going to be trying to find a microphone and some other ways to present information. Okay, here we are. All right, I have some waste. I've got coffee grounds, I got some strawberry little hulls that I just have from yesterday, and all I have to do, scientists, is just plop it in here, and that's it. And eventually the worms come up and eat it. I also have, excuse me, pardon my reach, a worm smoothie. This is not made out of worms. The first time I heard that, I thought, that's horrifying. Those poor worms. But it is a smoothie for worms. It would be like if you went to a smoothie shop and said, can I have a human smoothie? Which is a smoothie for humans, I guess. So this is a smoothie for worms. It's just like a bunch of things that I had in my fridge that were starting to go bad. Celery, carrots. I think there might be some ginger in there. Worms don't like super spicy stuff or super acidic things, so I try to stay away from too much citrus, like a lot of lemon or tons and tons of onions, something really spicy like that. But that said, I have put that in here and the worms still seem to be okay. They don't like meat, so no meat, which works fine for me since almost everything that I end up eating is mostly a vegetable. And they don't like bones or anything like that, or dairy. But they can do paper. You actually want to have some, sort of fibrous material in there, like paper, wood chips. The kit that I got came with coconut, like pieces of coconut husks to start with. So you have a nice mix of green matter and brown matter. Brown matter is just the fiber stuff. So, are we ready to just smush this smoothie in here? I think this is a nice little treat for them from what I've read, because it's easy to break down, because it is already so broken down because it's been torn to shreds. The bigger something is, the longer it's going to take for the worms to eat it. So I want to make sure that they get a nice little boost of nutrients right away. So I'm checking to see how I see all of your messages. And again, this is my first time doing it, so I'm just tapping on it right now. Open with Chrome? I can't do that. I'm busy videoing. All right, I'll figure it out, scientists. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is so satisfying. Ooh, nice. Yum, yum, yum. All right, well, that's pretty much it, scientists. Then you just leave it here. You cover the bin up. You can do this without having a fancy bin. I got this to try it out, and I'm not sure if it's more effective than if I just honestly put some holes in some buckets and put them on top of each other. I might try that next. And the reason you want holes in the bottom is because as the worms eat food, they poop, they also pee. And that liquid has to go somewhere. In fact, that liquid is really, really good for your plants if you collect it and dilute it with water. It's called worm tea or compost tea, which is just worm pee. I'm getting a little louder because there's a helicopter passing by. New York, New York. So down here, I'm grabbing some of that compost tea that I've been filtering out, and here we go. It's been too long since I siphoned this off, so this is a lot. I'll have to figure out what to do with all of it. Do not drink, do not eat, do not drink this. It looks like coffee. It is absolutely not. It smells like, do my, wafting technique. Oh, it smells bad. It smells really bad. Yeah, it smells like gingery poop, and I think that's probably because of the ginger in there. If you have composted before, please let me know if that's supposed to smell bad, because I don't actually know. I haven't smelled that before. So I would love to hear from you if you've done composting, and if you have any tips or tricks that you'd like to share with our community. We have young scientists watching who may want to start it themselves. You know, Sylvia just said she's thinking about starting herself some compost love. If you've got tips and tricks to share, please do. If you've got challenges or things you're worried about, if you want to start composting, let me know. We can figure it out together. I thought about making a video of this whole process, and then honestly, I forgot. So if you think that you'd like to see sort of some steps as I go through and continue this, let me know in the comments, and I will put together a video explaining the process in detail and kind of tracking my progress. Maybe that would be fun to do over the summer. Because another thing that people wonder about is, does it collect pests? Does it attract bugs? And I'm interested in that too. It has not so far, but as we go through the summer, I wonder if it'll get a little stinkier. Supposedly, if it all goes well, according to the process, it should not get stinky. Although that was pretty gross. But when I close this up, it smells totally fine, even when it's inside in my shower. So those are my worms, scientists. If you want to say goodbye, I will grab a couple out for just a second to say goodbye. Ooh, one of them is eating some broccoli. Yum. Oh, here you go. All right. Hey, bud. Let's say bye. Goodbye, scientist. Oh, hold on. Thank you for joining me to experience some of this fun, earthy science. Some people might think that worms are ew gross. They're super important to our environment and our ecosystem. I'm sorry, I'm putting it out in the sunlight. It's probably not very happy. I'm gonna put it back in a second so I'm not interfering with it too much. But there you go, that's a decent shot of one of my awesome worms. Worms are really, really important for the environment. They are critical to breaking down that food, whether it's in a compost bin like this or if it's in a backyard. So if you don't have a composting setup, but you want to find some worms, go outside. Check out the sidewalk. Sometimes after it rains, you'll notice some worms. On the sidewalk. I wonder why that would happen, scientists. What do you think? Comment below, we'll figure it out. Woo, all right. He or she, is trying to get back inside. So, thank you for joining me, scientists. I'm gonna go wash my hands and figure out how to turn off this video with hands full of dirt and worm poop and old vegetables. So, I'll see you later. I hope you find some science today. Let me know in the comments what you think, whether we should do more live videos, and I'll see you next time. Next month is very soon. We tune in to another topic of science, technology, engineering, and math. So get your food questions in now, because in April we move on to another type of science. Although you can ask me questions about any type anytime. All right, carry on. Have a good rest of your day. I hope you find some science, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Bear with me as I figure out how to